friends, welcome back to another Flying Dawn Marie adventure. Join me this week on the perfect one-day itinerary to Death Valley National Park. Now, I've spent the last 5 years exploring this park, and February is a wonderful time to visit. If you do have more than just one day to visit this park, I definitely recommend downloading my 2 to 3 day Death Valley itinerary travel guide at flyingdawnmarie.com. Now, it has details on how to spend multiple days inside this park, where to stay, where to eat, all my favorite hikes from hidden waterfalls to gorgeous slot canyons. And on today's Death Valley adventure, I have packed in some spectacular spots for the whole family. So let's enjoy this wonderful park together. We're starting our day bright and early at the Mesquite Flat sand dunes. These dunes are magical at sunrise, and as the day goes on, the sand can get mighty hot and the hills quite windy, so I prefer to visit this spot early in the morning when the cooler temperatures make it the perfect time to explore. The dunes are located right off of Highway 190 near Stovepipe Wells Village, so they're really easy to access. Now, there's no official trail, so you can wander as you like, but in my opinion, if you want the best experience, head deeper into the dunes. The tallest dunes here are well over 100 feet, and a bonus of visiting earlier in the day is you can snap pictures before there are any footprints covering the sand. Be sure though to wear sturdy shoes, as the sand is coarse and can get scorching hot as the sun rises and the day goes on. Don't forget your water and sunscreen, because you can wander far from the parking area without even realizing it here. And keep an eye out for wildlife tracks. While you explore, you might see signs of kangaroo rats or even sidewinder snakes. And take a closer look at the feldspar in the sand. It shimmers almost like gold. While this is a spot I love exploring in depth, you can always make it a quick stop viewing the sand dunes directly from the parking lot before continuing on your adventure. Next, we're heading to Harmony Borax Works, just a 10-minute drive from the Mesquite Flat sand dunes. This is where history meets the harsh reality of Death Valley's environment. In the late 1800s, this site was the center of borax mining, a mineral used in everything from soap to glass making, and a short interpretive trail here takes you past the ruins to the old processing plant and the famous 20-mule team wagons that were used to transport borax across the desert. These wagons were built to withstand the brutal conditions of the time. Imagine hauling 36 tons of borax across 165 miles in this Death Valley heat. On December 31st, 1974, this site was placed on the National Register of Historic Places, and you'll want to make sure to give yourself plenty of time to read the informative panels found all along the trail for detailed information about this area. After reading all of the information panels here and strolling the easy half-mile loop trail, you can head down the hill to view the old workers' ruins here. And while we're continuing on our day trip adventure, this spot is also a favorite of mine for stargazing. I'm sure you can see why. And make sure to check out my Death Valley travel guide itinerary at flyingdawnmarie.com, because I have an entire list of the very best sunrise, sunset, and night sky Death Valley viewing spots. Just a 6-mile drive down the road from Harmony Borax Works, we're heading to soak in one of Death Valley's most iconic views, Zabriskie Point. This overlook offers a jaw-dropping panorama of golden, wavy badlands formed by erosion long ago. A visit here is like standing on the edge of another planet, an otherworldly and magnificent experience. From the parking lot, it's just a short uphill walk along the paved path to find the official overlook viewpoint. It's no wonder why this is one of the most popular spots in Death Valley. The way the light plays on the hills is constantly changing. So while this is a well-known sunrise and sunset spot, it's truly remarkable any time of day. And if you're a photography fan, bring your zoom lens to capture the detailed layers of the rock formations. And for those who want more of a hiking adventure than just the short paved path to the view spot, The area consists to some incredible hikes like the Badlands Loop or the stunning Golden Canyon Trail. Just make sure to always bring plenty of water and knowledgeable navigation because this desert landscape stretches on endlessly. While Death Valley does have many highlights, Zabriskie Point is such a quick and epic stop. No Death Valley trip is complete without visiting this area. By now it's time to take a break and grab some lunch. Head over to Furnace Creek, just a 3-mile drive from Zabriskie Point. This is a central hub of Death Valley. Both the oasis and the ranch make a great home base for adventurers, and both have yummy dining options, and this is also a great opportunity to stop by the visitor center for park info, exhibits, or souvenirs before continuing on your adventure. After lunch, we're heading out on the scenic Artist's Drive. This winding 9-mile loop takes you through vibrant hills that look like they've been splashed with paint. The colors, green, pinks, and yellow, come from the different minerals in the rocks like iron and magnesium. There is a short trail in the middle of this drive, and you can take this to stretch your legs and get up-close views of the colorful hills. Artist Drive is a one-way and narrow road, so larger vehicles like RVs aren't allowed. It is a smooth drive, but a twisting roller coaster type road. But keep your camera ready because every curve reveals a stunning view here. After your Artist's Palette adventure, head a bit off the beaten path, driving just 10 miles to a lesser visited but truly stunning trail. Natural Bridge Trailhead is located off Badwater Road, but it does require driving a little over a mile on the rather rough gravel Natural Bridge Road. The hike to Natural Bridge is short at about 2 miles round trip, but it's slightly uphill and the terrain is rough, so make sure to wear sturdy shoes. Once you reach this bridge, you'll be standing beneath a massive rock arch that's been sculpted by erosion. This is an incredible example of the forces that shape the desert landscapes. While the namesake Natural Bridge is certainly the star of the show here, those who continue on will be treated to more desert wonders, including an ancient dry waterfall and more magnificent boulder formations. Unlike the smooth sandstone arches found in Utah, this bridge is made of jagged rock and gravel sediment washed and cemented together long ago. After exploring the otherworldly formations at Natural Bridge, we're heading back in our car and driving just 5 miles down the road, ending our epic Death Valley day at Badwater Basin, the lowest point in North America. At 282 feet below sea level, the salt flats here are like another planet stretching out endlessly toward the mountains. From the paved parking lot area, you can head out down to the boardwalk and then continue on to explore the salt flats. The landscape becomes more pristine and untouched as you continue on. In fact, the salt flats of Death Valley cover nearly 200 square miles. And sunsets are absolutely magical here as the light fades over the mountain peaks. It's no wonder this is a favorite evening spot of park visitors. But don't leave once the sun goes down, because stargazing at Badwater Basin is a can't-miss park activity. Death Valley National Park is actually designated a gold tier dark sky park, the darkest skies you'll find. Now, while I'm partial to the starry nights here, there's no bad time of day to visit Badwater Basin. In fact, sunrises are also spectacular, and it's a great time to enjoy the magnificent views without the park crowds. Also, if you're visiting in the winter months, when the rare rains happen, you have the unique opportunity to see a wonderful natural phenomenon of Badwater Basin flooding. An ancient lake, Lake Manly, once filled Badwater Basin, at one point stretching over 80 miles long and more than 500 feet deep in parts. While this lake long ago dried up after intense periods of precipitation, parts of the lake can actually reappear. In fact, between August of 2023 and February of 2024, Death Valley received numerous storms and Hurricane Hillary. In fact, it received over a year's worth of rain in a 24-hour period, and Lake Manly reappeared, stretching over 6 miles long and 3 miles wide. Now, the lake was only about 3 feet deep, and it has since faded away, but it was a spectacular and rare sight to see. I have an entire blog post and YouTube video on this natural occurrence on my website, and truly, no matter when you choose to visit Badwater Basin, you won't want to skip this spot on your Death Valley trip. From the salt flats to the sand dunes, this park has something to amaze everyone. Thank you so much for joining me this week in Death Valley National Park. And make sure to visit flyingdawnmarie.com to download my detailed Death Valley travel guide itinerary. If you enjoyed this week's video, please hit that like button and subscribe. And until next week, I hope you find adventure and encouragement wherever you go. Bye.